Welcome to this video lesson. In this video lesson, we will study about price elasticity of demand. We will start with elasticity of demand. The degree of responsiveness of demand to the change in determinants of demand. The determinants are the price of the commodity, income of the consumer, and price of related commodity is known as elasticity of demand. In other words, how demand changes due to change in its price, right? That is what elasticity of demand. Now, this elasticity of demand is of three types. First, the price elasticity of demand. Second, the income elasticity of demand. And third, the cross elasticity of demand, right? So in this lesson, we will only study about price elasticity of demand, right? Now this price elasticity of demand can be measured by three different ways, right? The first is called the percentage or proportionate method, or flux method also we call it. The second is the total outlay method, or expenditure method also we call it. And the third is called point method or geometric method, right? So all these three methods we will study in this lesson, right? Now see, this price elasticity of demand is the degree of responsiveness of quantity demanded due to change in price of commodity is called price elasticity of demand. Means whenever there is change in the demand due to change in the price, that we study under what? Price elasticity of demand, right? And just remember a few things, like it is a quantitative statement. Quantitative means we measure it in terms of some number, right? It tells us the magnitude of the change in the quantity demanded as a result of change in price, right? The second, that is the income elasticity of demand. It's the degree of responsiveness of demand to change in the income of the consumer is called what? Income elasticity of demand. Means how demand changes when there is change in the income of the consumer. So this we study under income elasticity of demand. The next is the cross elasticity of demand, right? It is the degree of responsiveness of demand to change in the price of related goods. Related goods means like substitute goods and complementary goods. This is called what? Cross elasticity of demand. Like if there is change in the price of tea, how the demand for coffee is going to be changed, or what is the effect of on the demand of coffee due to change in the price of tea. Or one more example let me give you. If there is change in the price of petrol, how the demand for cars are going to be changed. So this we study under what? Cross elasticity of demand. Now let's start with percentage method or flux method of calculating price elasticity of demand, right? So there is a simple formula to calculate price elasticity of demand, right? And that formula is percentage change in quantity demanded upon percentage change in price, right? And a formula is there. First calculate percentage change in the quantity demanded, right? On the screen you can see it's equals to delta Q upon Q into 100, right? And percentage change in the price, on the screen you can see it is delta P upon P into 100, right? And if you simplify it, you will get a simple formula, that is price elasticity of demand is equals to delta Q. Delta means change. So change in the quantity demanded upon delta P. Delta P is change in the price into P. P is what? Initial price, and Q is the initial quantity. So in this formula, remember, delta Q is change in the quantity, delta P is change in the price, P is the initial price, and Q is the initial quantity, right? Now before I move further, let me tell you this price elasticity of demand, if you see mathematically, you always get a negative quantity. right? We get it negative because there is an inverse relation between what? Quantity demanded and price. Means when price increases, the quantity demanded decreases. So as a result, whenever we calculate it, its mathematical value, if you see, we always get negative, right? But for general purpose, what we do, we ignore this negative sign, because this negative sign simply tells us the inverse relation, right? So we express this price elasticity of demand only in terms of its magnitude. Magnitude means its value. Like if the mathematical value of price elasticity of demand is -3, right? So we take it as 3. We ignore this negative sign because negative sign simply tells us the inverse relation between price and quantity. So we say that the price elasticity of demand is 3. Got it? Now we will study about different degrees of price elasticity of demand. There are 5 degrees of price elasticity of demand. First, that is the unitary elastic demand. Second is perfectly elastic demand, perfectly inelastic demand, right? Then elastic demand and then inelastic demand, right? We'll study all these one by one. Let's start with unitary elastic demand, right? So if percentage change in the quantity demanded is equals to percentage change in the price of the commodity, that means percentage change in the quantity demanded is equals to percentage change in the price of the commodity, right? Then price elasticity of demand is unit, that is 1, right? So this we call as unitary elastic demand. Now on the screen you can see the graph for unit elastic demand, right? If you see, it's a curved line sloping downwards, and this curve is called rectangular hyperbola. What do we call it? This curve is called rectangular hyperbola, right? So in this case, if you see, if you calculate change in the percentage change in the quantity demanded upon percentage change in the price, right? It's calculated on the screen. If you see, it's coming -1, right? Suppose when the price is 50, demand is 20. When the price has come down to 5, demand has increased from 20 to 30. So you can see the inverse relation. Price is decreasing, demand is increasing. So if you calculate price elasticity of demand, it comes equals to -1. So we ignore this negative sign because it is showing the inverse relation, right? So price elasticity of demand will be equals to 1, right? So this is the graph for unit elastic demand, which is what? Rectangular hyperbola. Now next is the elastic demand, or more than unitary elastic demand, right? So if percentage change in the quantity demanded is more than the percentage change in price, if quantity demanded, percentage change in the quantity demanded is more than percentage change in the price of the commodity, right? In that case, price elasticity of demand is always greater than 1. Right. So this we call as elastic demand. Right. On the screen you can see when the price is 30, quantity demanded is 100. When the price has gone down to 20, when the price is decreasing, demand will increase. It has become from 100 to 400. Now if you calculate price elasticity of demand, the calculations you can see on the board, right? So here you can see that it's coming -9. So price elasticity of demand is what? 9. It is greater than 1. So whenever price elasticity of demand is greater than 1, we call it as what? Elastic demand. Again here we will ignore what? Negative sign. Because negative sign indicates the inverse relation between price and demand. Again the graph for it you can see here, right? So this is the graph for elastic demand, right? This is ED is greater than 1. You can see on the screen, right? So it is showing what? The price elasticity of demand is greater than 1, right? This graph it's drawn for the same numerical values which are on your left hand side. That is, price is 30, demand is 100. Price is 20, demand is 400. So here the price elasticity of demand is how much? 9. Negative 9, negative we are ignoring. So this is the graph for the elastic demand. Now next is inelastic demand or less than unitary, means if the elasticity of demand is less than 1, that is called inelastic demand. If it is more than 1, it is called elastic demand, right? So if percentage change in quantity demanded is less than the percentage change in price of the commodity, right, then elasticity of demand is smaller than 1. And this is called inelastic demand. What do we call it? Inelastic demand. Now on the screen you can see when the price is 50, demand is 100. When the price has gone down from 50 to 40, the demand has increased from 100 to 105. Now here again, if you apply formula and calculate price elasticity of demand, it's coming negative 0.25. It means that it is smaller than 1. And negative sign, of course, is showing what? The inverse relation between price and demand, right? And the graph for inelastic demand you can see on the other side of the screen, right? Here you see the slope is greater. In case of elastic demand, elastic demand, the slope of the graph was less. Here the slope is what? More, right? So this is showing what? Inelastic demand. Got it? Now next is perfectly elastic demand, right? Now what is perfectly elastic demand? If quantity demanded changes and price remains constant, right? The graph you can see the price is same but the quantity demanded it's changing, right? So in that case the price elasticity of demand becomes infinity. What is price elasticity of demand? Infinity. Right. So this we call as what? Perfectly elastic demand. So for perfectly elastic demand, right, so price elasticity of demand is what? Infinity. Right. So this is perfectly elastic demand, and the graph you can draw is a line parallel to x-axis, means price remains same but the quantity demanded changes. Right. Now the calculation to show the perfectly elastic demand you can see on the screen. When the price is 4, demand is 10. At the same price remains same, demand changes, right? Demand has become 20. Now here if you see on the screen you can see the price elasticity of demand. If you apply formula and calculate, it's coming 40 upon 0. So any number divided by 0 is what? Infinity. So price elasticity of demand, right, will be how much? Infinity. So this is called perfectly elastic demand. Now next, the fifth one is perfectly inelastic demand. Got it? So if price is changed and quantity demanded is constant, right, then the price elasticity of demand is 0, right? So this is called perfectly inelastic demand. First see the graph on your screen, right? It is a line parallel to y-axis. If you see price quantity demanded remains same and the price is changing. Got it? So price quantity demanded is OQ. If you see here, initially the price was OP, the quantity demanded is OQ only. When the price has changed from OP1, the quantity demand still is what? OQ. That means price is changing, quantity demanded remain same. So this shows what? Perfectly inelastic demand, right? It is a line parallel to y-axis. Got it? If you see the calculations, right, towards the other side of your screen, when the price is 2, demand is 10. When the price has increased by 4, from 2 to 4, the demand still remains same, that is 10. So if you calculate price elasticity of demand using formula, you will get it 0 upon 20, right? And any 0 divided by any number is again 0. So the elasticity of demand is 0. So this is called perfectly inelastic demand. Got it? Now just to sum up, if the price elasticity of demand is infinity, that is called perfectly elastic demand, right? If price elasticity of demand is equals to 1, it is called unit elastic demand. If price elasticity of demand is greater than 1, right, then we call it as elastic demand. If price elasticity of demand is smaller than 1, we call smaller than 1 and greater than 0, right, then we call it as what? Inelastic demand. And if the price elasticity of demand becomes 0, then we call it perfectly inelastic demand. Now next method of calculating price elasticity of demand, we call it as total outlay method or total revenue method or total expenditure method, right? So the total expenditure method indicates the direction in which total expenditure on a product changes as a result of change in the price of the commodity. Means when the price of a commodity changes, whether the total expenditure is increasing, decreasing or remain same, right? On the basis of this, right, there are different possibilities, right? Those possibilities we are going to study here. Now the first is called, first case is inelastic demand. Now in case of inelastic demand, when the total expenditure varies directly with price or the price elasticity of demand is less than 1, right? This is called inelastic demand, right? On the table which you can see on the this screen, here you see when the price is 10, the quantity demanded is 100. So how much is the total expenditure? 1000 rupees, right? And when the price has gone down to 8, so the quantity demanded will increase from 100, so it has increased from 100 to 110. Now how much is the total expenditure? 880. Now here you see total expenditure is decreasing from 1000 to 880. So here it is called inelastic demand, means with decrease in price. In simple words, with decrease in price, if expenditure decreases, then we call it as what? Inelastic demand. Or the other possibility is, suppose the price is 8 and quantity demanded is 110. So how much is the total expenditure? 880 rupees. Now when the price has increased from rupees 8 to 10, the quantity demanded will decrease, because with increase in price, quantity demanded decreases. So how much is the total expenditure now? 1000 rupees, right? Now here with increase in price, the expenditure is increasing, right? So this again indicates what? Inelastic demand, right? So just to make it much simpler, let me tell you, if with decrease in price, total expenditure decreases. If both are decreasing, when price is decreasing and total expenditure is decreasing, or if price is increasing and total expenditure is increasing, in both the cases it is inelastic demand, right? Easy to remember, when the price is decreasing and total expenditure is also decreasing, or when price is increasing and total expenditure is also increasing. In both the cases, this is an example of what? Inelastic demand. Now next comes elastic demand, right? Here, right, when the total expenditure varies inversely with price, right? Price elasticity of demand is greater than 1. Inversely means, here if you see, when the price is 10, the demand is 100, right? So total expenditure is 100 into 10, that is 1000. Now when the price has come down, right, and the quantity demanded has increased, right, from 100 to 150, how much is the total expenditure? 1200, right? So here when price is decreasing, expenditure is increasing. So there is an inverse relation between expenditure and price. In the previous case, if you see, for inelastic demand, there was direct relation between price and expenditure. When price was decreasing, expenditure was decreasing. When price was increasing, expenditure was increasing. But here it's inverse relation. When price is decreasing, expenditure is increasing. In the second case, when the price is increasing, expenditure is decreasing from 1200 to 1000, right? So in both the cases, both the cases indicates what? Elastic demand, right? Here price elasticity of demand will be greater than 1, right? So just to sum up, right, remember it this way: when there is a direct relation between price and expenditure, that is inelastic demand. When there is an inverse relation between price and expenditure, that is elastic demand. Now, another type, that is called unitary price elasticity, right? So here if you see, with change in the price, there is no change in the expenditure. Like the price has gone down from rupees 10 to rupees 8, right? The expenditure remains same, 1000. Or if the price has increased from rupees 8 to 10, again the expenditure remains same, that is 1000. So when there is no change in the expenditure due to change in its price, then we call it as unitary price elasticity. So what is unitary price elasticity? If there is change in the price but the total expenditure remains same, then we call it as what? Unitary price elasticity, right? So in simple words, if there is a direct relation between price and expenditure, that is inelastic demand. If there is inverse relation between price and expenditure, that is elastic demand. If there is no change in the expenditure due to change in the price, that is unit price elasticity, right? And this, if you are asked to draw the graph between price and total expenditure, right, it's on the other side of the screen. You can see, right, here this part if you see, right, here with now here if you see, here the price is decreasing but total expenditure is increasing. This part of the graph shows price elasticity of demand is greater than 1. So this part is showing what? Elastic demand, right? This vertical line, right, it's showing that there is change in the price but expenditure remains same. So that is this is unit elastic. Now this part of the graph if you see, right, here you see the price is decreasing and total expenditure is also decreasing. So both are in the same direction. Price is also decreasing, expenditure is also decreasing. So this part indicates what? Inelastic demand. So if it is asked to draw the graph between price and total expenditure, so the graph will be like this. This part will indicate elastic demand, this will indicate the unit elastic, and this part will indicate inelastic. Got it? Now the third method of calculating price elasticity of demand is geometrical method or point method, right? So geometrical method or point method, according to this, right, how do we calculate price elasticity of demand, right? According to point method, elasticity of demand at any point is measured by dividing the lower segment of demand curve with the upper segment of demand curve at that point, right? We have to divide what? We have to divide lower segment by upper segment, right? Like if I want to calculate price elasticity with the help of point method at point C, right? So here the lower segment is CE and the upper segment is CA. So it is CE upon CA, right? On the other side of the screen you can see CE upon CA. Now CE and CA both are equal. So both will cancel, you will get how much? 1. So this point C indicates the unit price elasticity, right? So any demand curve, straight line demand curve, the center point shows what? Indicates unit elastic demand. Now let's take another point, point B, right? So here if you see, the lower segment is BE and the upper segment is BA, right? So the lower segment is greater than upper segment, means BE is greater than BA. So if you will divide, the value will be greater than 1. So this point B indicates what? Elastic demand. What? Elastic demand. So all the points between C and A indicates elastic demand. All the points between what? C and A indicates elastic demand, right? Now let's take another point D, right? So if you are asked to find elasticity of demand at point D, lower segment is DE, right? And the upper segment is DA, right? So here DE is smaller than DA. So that means the numerator is smaller and the denominator is greater. So its value will be smaller than 1. Right. So this will indicate inelastic demand. So all the points between C and E indicates inelastic demand. Between C and E indicates what? Inelastic demand. Now let's take point E, suppose. Right. What is the elasticity of demand at point E? So at E, the lower segment is 0 because this point is on the x-axis itself. So lower segment is 0 at point E. So the lower segment is 0 and upper segment is EA. So 0 divided by anything is 0. So here elasticity of demand is 0. That means this is perfectly inelastic demand. Right. So point A, if you see, the lower segment is AE. Upon upper segment is 0 because this point A itself lies in y-axis. Right. So any number divided by 0 is infinity. So at A, elasticity of demand is infinity. So this is perfectly elastic demand. Right. So at point A on this graph indicates perfectly elastic demand. Between A and C, this is elastic demand. At C, unit elastic demand. Between C and E, it is inelastic demand. At E, it is perfectly inelastic demand. Right. Now, in the next chapter or in the next video lesson, right, we will study about the income elasticity of demand and cross elasticity of demand. Thank you.